Following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday. It's Andy Brownell on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
Are you going to throw another party today?
Not today. I'm still recovering from last week's. Oh boy, that's a lot of work.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad, because if it's a lot of work but it equals a lot of fun. No, I actually had a lot of fun too. It was so good to see clients from years ago. I mean, it was really fun. And
I'm going to compliment you on the food. It was excellent. And in fact, you served coleslaw with this, right? And I'm not a coleslaw fan, and I found out Scott's not a coleslaw fan either.
Oh my gosh, Scott was going crazy. He's like, "Why are you making?" I said, "You cannot have a pig roast or pulled pork and not have coleslaw." And he's like, "No one's going to eat this." I hate to tell you, honey, but we went through 6 gallons of it.
And like I say, I'm not a big fan, but that was actually really good coleslaw.
It was pineapple. It was Hawaiian to go with the theme. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought everything. The pork was so juicy and tender, and I just thought everything turned out really good. But the best thing was, which I had absolutely no control over, was the weather could not have been more perfect. And we had approximately 400 guests, which was a really good turnout. And we had a lot of fun with the games, the bingo and the limbo and whatever. They were doing a hula hoop contest, and then we had the little ducky pond for the kids. I think we gave out, I know we did. 10 prizes at bingo were the Nothing Bunt cakes, because we just love our partnership with them. We love to pick up their product and give it out to our clients, and same with crumble cookies. So we had some cakes and cookies for bingo prizes, and then we had $1,000 worth of gift cards that we used for prizes throughout the day, and the drawings every half hour. But the grand prize, of course, is what drew our crowd that day.
Oh, yeah.
So for listeners that missed it, we gave away a completely paid Hawaiian vacation, including airfare, at a 5-star resort in Maui.
Man.
And the lucky winners were Corey Sursley, and of course his wife by default. So Corey and Simone Sursley won the trip to Hawaii, and they are beyond excited.
Well, I imagine, yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I even saw you on Facebook Live making the announcement.
Well, I was trying to figure out what's the best way, because it wasn't a party where it was an open house style thing. It was 1 to 4, so you certainly didn't have to stay all day, and people have things to do. We get it. And we didn't want people to feel like they had to come at the end of the day, so it was certainly not a must be present to win, just must be present to register, right? And then a lot of people did wait around because they wanted to see the drawing. So I thought, well, all right, we'll wait until about 10 minutes after 4 so we don't miss somebody trying to get in on the registration. And then we did it Facebook Live. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And you mentioned the weather. You failed to mention that the forecast for the day was pretty doom and gloom.
It was supposed to be horrible, and everybody kept saying, "Do we have a backup plan for rain?" And I'm like, "Bring your raincoats, bring your umbrellas. We don't really have a backup plan." But we didn't need one in the end. It turned out to be just
out.
Perfect. And our team was amazing. Do you know that we had almost a 100% attendance at that thing, and they were all working together, setting up and cleaning up, and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, it'll definitely be back next year.
Okay, that was my question. Not this week, but next year.
Not this week, but next year. Back by popular demand will be the Gwaltney Group Customer Appreciation Luau, and once again we will give away a fabulous vacation to Hawaii.
I look forward to it. It was a lot of fun. We'll be there again next year as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then next year I'm going to win. Well, I'm not going to win. My son will win. How's that?
Well, you can win because maybe between now and then you will you'll sell a house. Who knows? Never know. If you didn't stay in your house for 100 years, you'd have a chance.
I told you we moved into the Hotel California. You can never leave.
How many years have you been in your house?
It's coming up on 32.
Nice.
And the cul-de-sac that we live in.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us who have been there 32 years.
And now your son has moved in, so that's awesome.
He's moved into one. One of the few that moved.
Yeah,
he moved
that's
into
so
that
great.
house.
That says a lot about a neighborhood, that's for sure. I have another friend about our age that same story. Her and her husband bought what they thought was going to be their first home, and here they are 35 years later, still living there and loving all their neighbors, loving their little cul-de-sac. They're like, we can't move. So there you go. Hotel
we even
California.
We have one bachelor who lives in the neighborhood, and he moved in the same time, 30 years ago or so. And when he moved in, he was bragging, I'm going to live here 2 years, and I'm going to sell this house and flip it and buy another house and move.
He's still there?
He's still there.
I love it. Okay, so, there's something to be said about knowing your neighbors and knowing what's going on in the houses, because if somebody does move into the neighborhood, that new neighbor is going to know everything that's ever occurred in that house. I one time sold a house, and I am going somewhere with this, but I one time sold a house, and they, of course, put on the disclosures that there was absolutely never any water in the basement. And so my buyers were super excited. They bought the house. First spring came along, and they called me, and they were devastated. They said, Robin, our basement is flooded. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I didn't have the listing. I had the buyer. So I called to the other real estate company that had the listing, and they said, well, we can't really do anything about it. Those sellers have moved out of state, so it's, basically your buyer's problem. Well, I did not like that answer. So I made it my problem, and we got somebody over there to clean up that water and get that basement dried out. Well, as they're pulling out the carpet and the pad, there were 3 neighbors that came over and said, oh, no, not another flood.
Oh.
And it's like, another? Excuse me? So I found an article this week that I almost fell off my chair when I read it. I hope this doesn't really pertain to our market, but I think it's a national thing. But check this out. A survey says 94% of sellers do not disclose property defects.
Really?
They admit hiding a known issue with the home, which is against the law. These are the 13 most common problems buyers find after closing a transaction. Because, of course, what was happening in the big craziness is everybody was waiving the inspection. So if they
still have to disclose, though, right?
Well, yes, you do. But I'm saying that if they didn't disclose it and the buyer had an inspection, the inspector may be able to uncover it, depending on what the issue is. But I'm like 94% of people admit that they hid something. That is horrible.
Okay, what kind of stuff are you required to disclose? I don't know. Yeah, any material fact, okay? So if I come to list your house, I say, think hard and remember anything that ever caused you any kind of an inconvenience at all. So if one time the kids overran the bathtub and the water went all over the floor and the carpet got wet, or it came through to the level below it, disclose it. I mean, anything that ever happened out of the norm, okay? So there are questions to direct people, like has there ever been any damage to the wall coverings, the floor coverings? Has there been any water? Is there any seepage or leakage? I mean, the questions are there to prompt a person's memory so that they can't just say, oh gosh, I didn't even think that was something I should disclose. Sure.
So when I go to list a house, I go in and I tell people, over disclose. Disclose, disclose, disclose. Anything you know, you disclose. I think I might have spoke about this on one radio show, but I had a bad review once, And I'm in a bad review. Like they gave me 1 star or 0 stars or something. And they said that my cellar had water in the basement, and that my cellar knew she had water in the basement, and that I knew she had water in the basement, and that I told her not to disclose it. And I almost went through the roof. I mean, I was ready to sue this person. I was so angry. And so I called an attorney and I'm like, this is not right. I want to sue this person. And he's like, let it go. Just, Robin, it'll get buried. People are crazy. Well, then he looked that guy up, and that guy had done like 99 negative reviews, like to the Jimmy John delivery guy. I mean, like he just was just a really negative guy. Well, the sad thing is there was never any water in the basement. And his claim was that because they took the carpet out and along the tack strip, there was like little discoloration around the nail heads. And so he thought that meant that the basement had been wet. But the carpet layer told me that sometimes, especially in Minnesota, if somebody's not using the basement and they don't use a dehumidifier, sometimes humidity will, there'll be humidity, and that's kind of where it will draw, like go through the car. And he's
the
like,
nails, yeah.
And he's like, I can tell you right now, this wood has never been wet. And I'm like, oh my God. It was really maddening, but what can you do? I was devastated because I am so used to getting 5-star reviews and people ranting and raving about my service. And when I read that, I literally cried. I was like, this is terrible. And it was all made up, and it was hard. It was hard to take.
So I take it water issues are probably the number one issue that arises?
Oh my gosh. If you've ever had water in your house, it is so terrible. And so, yes, I always tell people, listen, even if it's only seeped in one little corner and you only saw one little circle the size of a silver dollar, disclose it. Just disclose it, disclose it, disclose it, disclose it. Don't hide anything. Because you know what? Every house has issues. I mean, maybe a window got broken and you replaced it, or maybe whatever has happened, just put it on there. That's it.
Boy, oh boy, they'd be a long time away.
Well, I mean,
32 years, there's been some things that have happened.
You might start taking notes now, so when it's time to sell it, you can refer back. Yeah.
So, do I have to disclose ghosts? I'm kidding.
You know what? Some people buy a house and pay more because of ghosts.
Okay. Robin,
I'll tell you a funny story about that later.
Okay. I'm going to remind you. We have to take a break. Okay. And we'll be right back. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Results here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
If you have a 4-year-old, time is running out to enroll in an at-home early learning program. Waterford Upstart teaches kids the basics of reading, math, and science through quick daily programs that are personalized just for them. Adults get support from a coach along with the computer and internet. And because it's already funded, it's free for you. You only have days left to make this investment in your child. Enroll now at waterfordupstart.org.
Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Okay, I was going to remind you later, but I can't wait. So
it's funny. So I had a house listed out in Zumbrota. And it was an old house, a beautiful old 2-story house with lots of cool characteristics. And I had a real estate agent. People are not even going to believe this is true, but this is true. I had a real estate agent from the cities schedule an appointment to come down and show it. And so I called her and I said, how did the showing go? And she said, well, the house was really nice, but I really angered the spirits that live there. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what? And she goes, yeah, one of the spirits in the house did not want me there clearly. And it shoved me down the staircase.
Oh my
and so
gosh.
I hurt my ankle. And I was thinking, is she joking me or is she serious? So I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that. And she goes, it's not the first time I've been in a house with spirits, and everybody maybe can't tell that they're there, but I can. And I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to affect the buyer's decision, but these spirits are not excited about new homeowners. And I'm like, okay. So I thought that was the end of it. She called back about a week later and said she wanted to come back. And I said, okay. And so I had to meet her there because she didn't have the right lockbox to open the door. And I got there, and this full-blown, successful, licensed realtor was wearing garlic around her neck. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, this time I'm just going to go in there. I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, the people bought the house. I never heard of any spirits after that, but this realtor was 100% sure that the house was haunted and that the ghost did not want a change of ownership.
And she told the buyers that she was wearing the garlic?
Yeah, she told the buyers that she obviously slipped and fell down the stairs, and she told the buyers that a spirit pushed her down the stairs, and the buyers probably thought, okay, I mean, I don't know, maybe they believed it. I'm just telling you, I have a hard time believing that any ghost pushed her down the stairs, but maybe, who knows?
Oh, that's funny.
I've never had that happen to me. I'll just speak from my own experiences.
I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm
right.
not saying
do exist. Right. I mean, maybe they do, but I'm just saying I've never encountered that.
Oh.
So if I do, I'll be sure to talk about it here. Okay.
Well, at least the lights weren't flashing, and then you would have had another disclosure thing because that would have been an electric.
So so then this is true. I went to my broker and I'm like, okay, so now this other agent has told me that the house is haunted, and he just looked at me like, stop it. I'm like, well, I don't know. Is this a material fact? Is this something I should be putting on the disclosures? And he's like, yeah, no, we're gonna just let that one go.
Oh,
so
gosh.
yeah, but there are things, like sometimes people say, someone died in the home. Do I have to disclose it? And if they died, natural death in the home, or a non-violent death, sometimes, people take their own lives in their home. But if it's pills or, if it's a non-violent death, it does not have to be disclosed. If it was a violent death, and maybe it's because the violent death, I think it's just because people could have a hard feeling about it, whatever.
Right.
But,
it's like people crime scene or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. So then it has to be disclosed. And so I always tell people, when you're filling out that disclosure, if you have any questions, just call me and I'll tell you what you need to disclose and what you don't. And if you're bringing it up to me, chances are you need to disclose it.
Okay. But I imagine in Manorville, having ghosts in your home would be a selling point. You
know what? Some people will honestly pay extra. I sold the Anderson house, and I had people calling me, asking me, that's the oldest hotel in Minnesota, and it's in Wabasha, and I had people calling me and asking me, is it true that it's haunted? Because if it is, we're really interested. And I'm like, I don't know. I've not met any ghosts. If you want to come down and see for yourself if you can find any, come on down. So, I have heard from several people that it is haunted. That's interesting. But I can't tell you for a fact. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. You asked me. I'm going to
We should have saved this discussion closer to Halloween.
We should have, darn it. Well, maybe I'll have some encounter between now and then.
Okay, you get pushed down some stairs. I hope not.
No, that would be my klutziness just tripping, but let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, so these are the things that people found after closing that were not disclosed, okay? 88% of the problems were electrical. So people were darn well aware that there were certain outlets in their house that didn't work or certain switches that didn't work, but they chose not to disclose them. Plumbing. 58% of the people that hid something hid a plumbing issue. So there's a certain sink that drains really slow or a tub that drains really slow, things like that. You need to disclose those things because sometimes they're minor, sometimes they're major. Yeah. Like sometimes it's tree roots that have gotten into the, lines. I mean, it can be a big deal. Exterior structures. I don't even know what that would mean. Garages or I don't know. Leaks. 54% of people lied about leaks. Basements. Water damage. 46%. Heating and cooling, 43%. So what would that be? Like maybe you know darn well that Susie's bedroom upstairs is always hot. It never cools down. Just put it on the disclosure. Just say there's one bedroom upstairs because then they'll know, okay, we'll probably have to get a window air conditioner for there or whatever. But just tell people what the issues are with your house so that they know what they're buying. Because people, if they find things that they didn't know about, it is really disheartening, and they just kind of lose faith in the seller, and they wonder what other things are being hidden.
Oh, yeah. So. I can see if you came up with a detailed list like that, they would just go, wow, look at this. This is fantastic.
Right. And you say, we did have one time the dishwasher leaked, and then we had to replace the flooring in the kitchen, but that's all been taken care of. It's never happened again since, or whatever. And when you tell people the truth about what's happened to the house, everybody expects that there's been problems, but if they're buying a house that's had issues that have been addressed and disclosed, that actually gives people a sense of, security because they know we can trust these sellers. So there you go.
I definitely can see that. Okay.
All right. Is it time to take a break?
It is. I was just going to say that.
All right. So then I won't start this next little thing I was going to talk about. All right.
So we'll do the break and we'll be right back. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Max results. Right here on this Saturday morning with us on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Quality early childhood education starts here.
And here.
We care for kids because we want to make sure that Nebraska thrives.
We need to work and prepare our children for school.
We care for kids, but we can't do it alone.
Join us at NebraskaCaresForKids.org.
Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everybody. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results, of course, with us. We often take this part of the show, Robin, to talk about some of your new listings. Is it okay to do that right now?
Yes, I have some that I would really like to promote, so I think that's a great idea. So the townhomes up by Mayo Clinic Northeast? There's a whole bunch of them that were built by country. Yeah. All right. So anyway, we've got one that is listed for $452. It's 2268 Coral Court, and it's a 4-bed, 3-bath. It's got a 2-car garage. It was built in 2004. Very nice looking. It's got stone on the exterior. It's got 1,735 square feet on the main, and it has another 1,128 below grade.
That's a big place.
2,863 square feet. So, I mean, it's like a big house, but what's nice about it, of course, is it's zero entry, main floor. Everything that you would need is on the main, including the laundry. But if you do have adult children coming home or visitors coming for Mayo or whatever you might need bigger space for, you do have it in the lower level if you want it, right? So it's perfect for people our age, Andy, people who are thinking about, I don't want to say downsizing because it's probably not smaller than a lot of people's houses, and it's probably not cheaper, but let's just say right sizing, right? Making the move to the place that you can stay comfortably for the next 20 years.
So you get rid of the mobility problems with the stairs, but plus you're so I take it they do the shoveling and the
Yes, there is an association. Yes, there is an association, and they take care of all of that stuff. So that's really nice, and just a really nice place. So I think I don't know that that's open this weekend, but certainly we'll get you in it if you want to see it. So it just came on the market yesterday.
All right.
So it's just one day on the market. Then we have one out in Dodge Center that's been on the market just about a week. It's 201 4th Ave Southeast. And this one is a 3-bed, 2-bath split with a 2-car garage. And this one is a total of 1,500 square feet, and it's $249,900. So
nice, in the sweet spot.
Got one in it. Yeah, nice in that affordable home ownership price range. Here is one that is on the market a week. This one is 316 6th Avenue Northwest, and it's $299,900. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath with a 1-car garage. It's an older house. This one was built in 1920. Cute house with a front porch. So that one's, $299,900.
Is that the area they call Lower Town now?
Oh, is that what they call it?
I'm not sure.
You're teaching me something.
I think it is. I'll have to go out there and check it out because I know
it's Cummings Edition. It's Cummings Edition, but I don't know if that's what they call it. Yeah, I guess I've seen the Uptown signs on the other side of 2nd Street, so I've just never noticed anything else.
Oh.
But yeah, that's where that is. A little dollhouse that I cannot believe hasn't sold. It's been on the market 1 week today, and it's 1008 4th Street Southeast. And this one is a 3-bed, 1-bath for $209,900.
Ooh, right there.
And a 1-car garage. Yeah, super cute. I mean, it is a little dollhouse. And, when I say I can't believe it hasn't sold, a week is still really quick in today's market, okay? So bottom line is that it's not that, oh, gosh, it's been sitting on the market for a week. It is that... Yeah, it's that.
It's a week.
It's a week. Yes, exactly. So it will definitely sell. I'll chit-chat a little bit here. That's all the new listings I have.
Okay.
I'll chit-chat. Do I have a couple of minutes, or what do I have?
Oh, about a minute or two, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just talk about this week's peek at the mortgage rates, okay?
Okay.
30-year fixed rate mortgages averaged 5.55. 15-year fixed mortgage rate averaged 4.85, although I did have a client tell me they got one for 4.25. A 5-year adjustable rate averaged 4.36. So the rates are holding steady, maybe even dipping down just a little bit. But I think, and I'm not the only one who thinks, Lawrence Yun, who is the economist for the National Association of Realtors, thinks that we've hit our bottom as far as things slowing down. And after the Labor Day holiday, we're going to see another surge in house buying because people are saying, okay, things are settling down and the rates are kind of right here and they're probably not going to shoot up. So, I agree, and I've been predicting that for the last few weeks, that these last quarter of the year will be a good one.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. That's for sure.
All right. Well, if I can help you in that last quarter of the year, be sure to call me, and my cell phone is the best way to get a hold of me, and that number is 507-259-4926.
All right. Thank you so much, Robin. I look forward to chatting again next weekend. It's Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
I didn't think I had time for college, but with WGU, I can earn an accredited degree on my own terms. A nonprofit university that lets me fit school around my schedule and take tests when I'm ready. I'm going back to school at WGU.